need something?
Vengeance. It promised clarity, but it's only brought more questions. About myself, about my purpose,
Peaceful,
about everything.
ain't it?
All right then.
World could use a bit more of that.
There's nothing like a stroll through the woods. Vigilance is key in the path to victory. Careful now.
Sharp blade? That's a fair question. My years of taking lives, it wore me down. I saw the same pain, the same loss, reflected in the eyes of every victim. I realized I needed to escape that cycle of violence, to find some semblance of peace. So I left the Brotherhood behind. Oh, it's you two. Didn't expect to see you again.
We need to talk. I'm sorry about...
Hold on, lass. Let's get inside first. Easier to talk with a warm fire and a full belly.
Well, he's still awfully friendly.
Welcome again to me humble abode. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Let me just get you some refreshments. Tea, mead, and for the Ashen lady, dwarven oil.
Good one, Roland. But I'd be surprised if you actually kept that on you.
Ah, yes you would. It does come quite in handy.
Handy for...
Polishing my axe helps keep it looking young. Can't do that for myself, unfortunately. So, what can I do for you?
Roland, I owe you an apology. Not just for threatening you before, but for not trying to understand you first.
Wow. Not expect to hear that coming out of your mouth, young lass. Truth be told, I owe you an apology too. Did some things I ain't proud of. Just following orders I was, but that's no excuse. Yes, that exactly. Words are cheap. Actions speak louder. Tell you what, help me with this wood cutting. Got a big order for the carpenter in town. Keeps a roof over me head, you see.
Could I pull you aside for a moment?
Watch what you're doing.
Isn't that a bit mundane for someone of my talents? Well, your loudmouth got us into this. I suppose we'll have to chop our way out.
Right now, finish up your drinks, then let's get to work. Fresh air will do us all good. Yes? All right, then. Good work, both of you. Now, while I stack this wood, why don't you run down to that iron vein south of here and bring back some more? The carpenter needs that, too. Oh, but Ashe, she stays. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Tossed me weapons aside long ago.
I'll be fine. Remember who's bodyguarding who here. Talking to Ronan will be good for me, I think.
Take care.
Need something?
And then I tripped over my own scabbard and fell headfirst into a mud puddle. It was not my finest moment, I'll admit.
Come in, join us. Ashe was just sharing some of her more. How was the mining? There's a certain satisfaction that comes after you finally see that wonderful ore sticking out of the veins. Especially if you mine rare ore, like Stalrim. Indeed, my friend. Which is why every smith worth his salt dreams to go there.
Ronan's father was a smith.
I used to apprentice for my father every day. And just being next to those coals, mining that ore, I must admit, even for an automaton, seeing a girl's preference for the manlier pursuits was quite surprising, and a breath of fresh air. If this was written into her, Aryo must have some good taste.
I don't think it was. My home wasn't exactly a smithy, but the sounds and smells you described are familiar to me. I must have developed an affinity for it. Mr. Bryant and I, we're fine now. I've come to accept what my father would have wanted. Not to bear ill feelings, and truly just move on.
Watch what you're doing. Need something?
I need answers, my friend. I feel lighter, like a huge weight has been lifted from my shoulders. We all have our regrets. We have our wounds, our dark pasts. I believe you encouraged me about this too, but only now did it set in. The only thing you can change about the past is how you feel about it in the present. I suppose I have you, Roland, and Martimius to thank. He was the one who came up with that quote. Great thinker. Roland just told me about him. No, you dolt. If that were the case, I'd be a woodcutter by now. I meant the simple things in life. That was what my father meant by living and experiencing. Just being present and in the moment. Oh? And what would that be? Professional adventurer? Dragon slayer? Or perhaps my personal therapist. I am a grown adult, thank you very much. I do not need to be coddled. But if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. Truly confronting my past, not just running from it. Thank you.
I appreciate your concern, but we've been betrayed before.
Besides combat and training, I do enjoy a good read every now and then.
Well met.
After all, knowledge is
I'm
power.
Lynette Loette. My brother, Remy... By the Eight! It's her! You! Do you know with whom you travel? Why have you brought this murderer back to our village? Gods, have we not suffered enough? She's plenty a threat. I watched her single-handedly cleave a foe in two. Though, I've got no choice but to take your word. We were just minding our own business. Then a Breton and a Nord showed up running away from a werewolf. The Nord fled. Chickened out. Ma and Pa were with us. Pa said he'd fight the werewolf while we ran. Then, the Breton, Ashe, as you call her, appeared next to Pa. They talked in whispers. I caught Pa's eye. His expression. He looked ready to weep. And then he... My father.
That's enough.
It's not fair! Dad was the bravest, and they used him like bait! I hate them. I hate them all!
I'm sorry. What happened to your mother?
She died of illness not too long after the attack.
It's because of you we have no family!
Remy, it's not the woman's fault that Mommy died. Blame that on the illness.
But because of her, we have no parents! No one to take care of us.
That's true. It's just me and my brother. Our village was just a couple of houses. The other inhabitants were already dead by the time the attack was done. The white women had left already. My brother and I had to bury them. Remy, he's been taking it hard. I can tell he wants to fill Pa's shoes, but that frustrates him. Poor thing.
I did what I thought was necessary at the time. But seeing them now, was I wrong? I convinced myself it was better to leave the past behind. That dwelling on it would only cause more pain. But seeing those children again, I realize I can't escape the consequences of my actions. But at what cost? A man's life, a family shattered. They're just children alone in the world. Because of me. We had to stop the werewolf. He was the only one who could distract it. In the heat of the moment, it seemed like the only option. But now, I see the consequences. 2 children without parents. Because of me. What have I become? Is this the path I'm destined to walk, leaving only destruction in my wake? Amends. I don't know if that's possible, but I have to try. For their sake and for my own redemption.
Oh, thank the divines you're still here. I need your help. Remy's run off into the woods. Please. I can't do this alone. We won't if we don't hurry. He's most likely slipped out the back. This way. Remy! Remy, where are you? This isn't funny! Come back! Sandar, preserve me! A wolf? Of all things? What? What should we do?
I won't let anyone else become a sacrifice. Not this time.
Remy, are you hurt? What were you thinking running all the way out here like that?
I don't know. I'm not hurt. I just tripped. And then the wolf See, I'm okay. I can take care of myself. Can we just go home now?
Yes. Let's get you home. I'll take a look at your leg and fix you up some food.
I'm sorry for worrying you again, Lynn.
It's fine. I know you're angry, but you have to learn to temper it. Remember what Dad said about anger being like hot iron?
Do you need something?
You gonna help us or just stand there talking? Paul always said actions speak louder than words.
You both have my gratitude for saving my foolish brother. I'm sorry for earlier. My brother and I weren't exactly kind to you. We've been through so much. I stopped imagining that our fortunes could change. I've nothing especially valuable to give in thanks. But you're welcome to come by the cabin and fill your bellies. All right then.
My father wouldn't have needed help.
Here, for helping earlier. Some cabbage and potato soup, fresh from the garden. Oh, what's left of it anyway. Remy, don't you have something to say?
It was cool, the way you fought off that wolf.
I guess that's close enough. It's been difficult since Pa passed. Remy's been acting out. Animals are getting into the garden. The storm last week made things worse. We need food, mostly. Fruits, vegetables, anything to fill our bellies. And our clothes are wearing thin. Animal pelts would help keep us warm. If you could do that for us, we'd deeply be in your debt. Thank you. Truly. You have a kind heart. This means more to us than you know.
Yes? What did you need?
Took you long enough. I needed to talk to you, duh. Well, I need to talk to the Silver Lady, but she's always following you around. Lynn wants you to help, right? Bring us food and stuff. But what happens when we run out again? I've been trying to hunt. Like Pa did. We didn't need anyone's help when he was around. But it's not working. My arrows don't reach, and then I scare the animals away. Pa was teaching me. But then I saw how you killed that wolf with one shot. You can show me now.
Teach a man to hunt. Sure, kid. I'll show you how to properly use that bow.
Lynn's been sad and worried all the time. I want to help.
I'm sure she'll have the biggest smile on her face when she sees you come home with an animal carcass draped along your shoulders.
You promise? Let's start now. I don't want to eat cabbage soup ever again. I can't believe I got 2 of them! Lynn's gonna be so impressed. I gotta go show her! Bye, Silver Lady!
Yes? What did you need? Don't mess.
Remy, I'm glad you're having fun, but I have work to do.
But Lynn, I work too! Look, I hunted us 2 rabbits!
You did what? How weird. Last I saw, you couldn't keep the arrow from falling when you pulled back the string.
They ain't actually listened to my prayers. You talk to them too much. They're probably annoyed.
Cheeky. The adventurers helped you out, did they?
Maybe. But I did the shooting all by myself!
I'm sure Paul would be proud. I'm proud of you too, you rascal. Now, off with you. Your work's done for the day. Need something? Oh, divines bless you. This will get us through the winter. We can't thank you enough. You're a true friend. Ma and Pa would have liked you.
What's my strategy? It was the least we could do. Perhaps a small step towards atonement for me. I feel a weight of guilt over what happened here. But is it even real guilt? Or just a programmed response to a negative outcome? Does it even matter? Perhaps the only way to know is to keep trying. To make amends, to offer support. To choose a better path, even if it's not the one I was originally designed for. Oh, Remy. I know nothing can bring your parents back. I wish I could turn back time, undo that night. But all I can offer is my support. If you ever need anything, anything at all, do not hesitate to ask.
You can visit their graves if you want. Pay your respects.
Thank you, Remy. I would like that. I'm sorry. For the pain I caused, for the life I took. I know apologies are meaningless in the face of such loss, but it's all I have to offer. As someone who exists outside the boundaries of mortality, I cannot claim to understand your fate or your afterlife. But I hope, wherever you are, you found peace. And if fate allows rebirth, may your next lives be filled with joy and love. Thank you for bringing me here. It brought me a measure of peace. Admiration is a dangerous emotion, especially when directed at someone like me. You're supposed to be that beautiful Skyrim weather that everyone rambles on about.
Adventurer, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly is Ashe? There's something different about her. The way she moves, her strength, it's almost unnatural. And that look in her eyes, what is she hiding? An automaton? Like those Dwemer contraptions? But she seems so real. Why would she hide her true nature? I don't understand. How can a machine have a soul? How can it feel emotions? Need some? Thank you for the offer, truly. But I'm old enough to care for my brother. We've managed this long. We'll find a way. Besides, We wouldn't feel comfortable living under the same roof as that woman. Not after what she did.
Right behind you.
You have no idea how much this means to us.
Lynn's been smiling a lot more.
Thank you.
Probably because I'm getting really good at hunting. Her soups taste way better now. Yup, I'm way stronger too. Before you know it, Lynn won't have to buy firewood anymore because I'll just be able to chop it all myself. Lynn said that too. When I got mad or sad before, I didn't know what to do. Now I can just grab my bow and wander through the trees. If I walk long enough, the bad feelings just go away. Like magic. I can't shoot any fireballs though. Yeah, now you sound like Ma.
Alchemy.
You didn't have
Windhelm bears the weight of its past well. A fitting place to confront the ghosts of my own. We just need to look for the new Nisus Corner Club. Return my greatsword, Cruel Oath. During that werewolf attack, I took a greatsword from another adventurer. Torfin was his name. He was injured, frightened. I believed that taking the weapon was necessary to ensure our survival. Stall. Perhaps that's the right word. I justified it as necessary at the time, but I see things differently now. I need to find Torfin, return what I took. This must be the place. I'm not surprised. Windhelm isn't known for its hospitality towards outsiders. Looks like he's just over there. Let's go have a chat.
You think you can judge me? You don't know what I've been through. I was a hero once. Now look at me. Another round, barkeep. What's it matter if talk? What's the point? Another sub-story to drown in mead? Go find someone else to bother. Wait. Is that Ashe? The Breton who left me to die? Stole my family heirloom and vanished? Come to mock me in my misery? Why did I leave? Maybe because a certain Breton stole my only means of defense and disappeared into the night. Ah, is that so? Keep it. A reminder of what you did to me. This sword, it was a symbol of my honor. My family's legacy. Now it's tainted, just like my life. People have families, don't they? Think, milk drinker. She just took and ruined mine. All for some greater good. What good was that when the entire village died but 2 mere children? It wasn't even a glorious death. They were running, afraid. That would have been me too. But I'm still alive. Just waiting to die my own hero's death.
I'm not surprised. It just doesn't make things any less difficult for me. It's like I'm staring at myself in the mirror. Torfin blames I'm not surprised. It just doesn't make things any less difficult for me. It's like I'm staring at myself in the mirror. Torfin blames circumstances for how he is, but doesn't realize that he put himself there. You could have left me in that same spot not too long ago. But you stayed with me, through oblivion and high water. Can't we do the same for him? Good. Let me do the talking. He does know me after all.
What? You again? Come to lecture me some more?
First off, we can fully refund my fee. This is for the job. Consider it a reimbursement. I let you down, Torfin. I should have returned your sword after the attack, but I was scared. Clinging to the idea of vengeance. A fool's errand, I realize now. Torfin, I regret what happened. I'm sorry. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Glad
This
Orthus was able to find
is the
someone
first time I've
competent
ever
to help
seen
out.
you like this. Forgiveness, eh? Don't know about that. But
You handled yourself
if
pretty well
you
back
two
at
really
Japheth's
do
farm.
want to be of
We'll
help,
remember that.
there's this bandit clan I was tracking before I became a drunken mess.
You're someone who can get things
Folk
done.
would come to the
I
bar,
like that.
crying, angry, resigned. I'd accept him to their name, spinning tales of highwaymen robbing them on the roads. Got so out of hand that Embarras went to the Jarl to have a bounty put up. A perfect quest for someone like me, but if you could finish what I started, end these bandits, it'd be good. Here, the bounty. Some of my aid you.
Very well. Dealing with bandits. It's a start. Come on, friend. Let's get this done.
What was that?
Now you're mine.
Is someone there?
Now ain't this a surprise? Looky here. Looks like we got ourselves a hero. Do your work!
Good to see you again,
was
friend.
killed, justice was done.
Perhaps the weight of his choices is finally catching up to him. Maybe now, he's ready to listen. The bandit clan is taken care of.
I thought the
Really?
Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind.
That's great news. You can go to Embarras over
Glad
there for your
Orthus was
bounty.
able to find someone competent
Now,
to help
as
out.
for your sword, let's settle things. It's yours.
You handled
Ah,
yourself
keep
pretty
it,
well
Ashe.
back at Japheth's
It's
farm.
yours now.
We'll remember that.
I'm not worthy to wield it anymore. You are.
The Grey Quarter is not much to look at now,
it was
but
your
it wasn't
family's
always
legacy.
so bad.
A cruel oath was a reminder from my family to always question our loyalties, to see if they're rightly placed. My loyalty was to myself for a while. I ran away, drank in my sorrows. But you,
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is
I
around.
understand. Thank you.
Elda up at Candleheart
What will you
is
do now?
jealous.
I'm not sure. Can't exactly go out adventuring again with the whole civil war going on. I would get some work here for now, as a hired hand. I'd even be willing to serve Embarras, but even he is sick of me.
Friend, I think you could talk to the innkeep. Thorfinn's not the most charming fellow. Maybe you can get him some work.
Can't say I mind the sight of all the Imperial guards. It's a change.
Thorfinn, that sodden Nord who stinks of cheap mead and misplaced arrogance. What about? Perhaps suggest I toss him out on his arse. Believe me, the thought has crossed my mind more than once. A tough time. He's brought it upon himself. Wallowing in self-pity, drowning his sorrows in ale, and making life miserable for everyone around him. A typical Nord, wouldn't you say? You think I'd let that drunken oaf work in my establishment? He'd scare away my customers and likely try to start a brawl. Don't be ridiculous.
I need answers, my friend. Answers that seem to elude me at every turn.
Perhaps suggest a tough wallowing in self. Fond. Let's just say I haven't encountered many Nords who've earned my respect. Especially not in this city. They shoved us into this dank corner, treat us like dirt beneath their boots. and they call themselves civilized. An intriguing proposition. To see a Nord scrubbing floors and serving mead to his own kind, in a Dunmer establishment. It would certainly bring a smile to my face.
Glad Orthus was able to find someone competent to help out.
Vigilance is... Thank you. You've helped a broken man find a path to redemption. And in doing so, you've given me hope. Hope that maybe I too can atone for my mistakes. I also get to keep this sword, so that's nice. Captivating, am I? You're quite bold, but I appreciate the sentiment. Seeing Torfin like that, it evokes a sense of pity? But is it true pity, or just a logical conclusion based on his circumstances? Hey there. Those journeys, they've been illuminating and unsettling. I've learned more about myself than I ever wanted to know. But it's brought me closer to understanding my purpose, the reason for my existence.